Good evening and welcome to the Town of Dayton's Board of Selectmen's regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. This meeting is in person and via Zoom at Old Town Hall, 1111 Somerset Ave, Dayton, Mass. This meeting is being recorded. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Can we please have a call to order?
Mark Pacheco present.
Peter Karen present.
One Cabbage present.
And can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I'm just going to ask everybody to stand for about 20, 30 seconds for some people that we lost this week. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to butcher these names. I want to apologize up front because I just don't do it well. James Conatry Jr., Arulo, Estrella, Peter Garkowski, Jose Manuel George, Michael Leonard, and William Mendoza. Thank you, guys. We organized our board. Mark is going to be chairman. I'm going to make that nomination, and I've had a great time doing it, but it's time for me to step down, and Mark is going to do it, so hopefully you still say yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to step down as chair and nominate Mark Pacheco as chairman.
Second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're going to be clerk.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to step down. Well, you can make a motion. Well, I'll step down. No, we already. I'm going to make a motion that Glenn Cabbage be the clerk for the Board of Selectmen.
I'll step down in second.
Motion has been made and seconded.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, you can sit where you are. You can come here.
All right.
Thank you.
Great.
Mark, you may want to switch your effects.
Oh.
There you go.
That's my official duty as town.
Oh,
This is yours for later. The warrants. Just to read them. Yep. So now that that is done, we have a 6 o'clock public hearing for a Class 2 motor vehicle license. Stephen Remy, Remy's Auto Sales, doing business as Remy's Auto LLC, 2387 Winthrop Street. At this time, I'll take a motion to open the public hearing.
motion to table.
Through the chair, as a public hearing, you have to open the public. You have to open the public hearing. If there's anyone here who wants to give testimony to it, you can. But you, given the fact that the Dayton Police Department is still reviewing the application, I would advise to continue the public hearing to the next selectmen's meeting.
Okay.
May 13th.
So I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Is there anyone here for Stephen Remy's Auto Sales? Okay. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing.
Make that motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, we have Stephen Prock, Bristol County Auto, 2387 Winthrop Street. Review, discuss, act, rescind Class 2 motor vehicle license.
Make that motion to table.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So next we have John P. Rufo, 1650 Wellington Street. Review, discuss, act, appointment of John P. Rufo to the Board of Registrars. John,
That's me.
hi, awesome. John, did you want to come up and introduce yourself? And, all right, Sharon as well. All right.
Absolutely. Yes, very good. Yeah.
I'm John Rufo. I live on 1650 Wellington Street. And I would like to be a registrar.
How did you hear about the opening?
I heard it from Mr. Gale here, Jonathan Gale.
So Jonathan, so what I did was I reached out to Jonathan because anecdotally I found out he is the chairman for the Democratic Party Town Committee. So I did reach out to him. He got me in contact with John. So you asked John if he'd be interested, and I met with John on the 30th of March and talked to him a few times, and I think he'd be a really good addition to our vacancy right now. So we do have a vacancy who Cheryl Wick had stepped down, and her appointment was going to be until 2028. So it is the vacancy through the 2028. And then obviously as I reappoint, and if it works out.
Awesome, very good. All right, I don't have any questions.
No, I'm cool with it.
Glenn, any questions? Okay, well, thank you for, these are tough positions to fill, and, but, you know,
I think he's gonna do a great job.
you'll do a great job, you'll
I
have a
hard
great.
time saying that.
Great,
So yes, you have to do it. No, I'm just kidding. So I think he'll be a great addition. So,
absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Sean.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sean.
Is there any motions on the floor for appointment of John?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next we have a public hearing for R.W. Bryant Contracting, a petition for pole locations, Tremont Street, setting 2 poles on Tremont Street. I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Through the chair, before you make that motion, the public hearing is supposed to begin at 6:15. It's 6:07 right now. We have to wait at least till 6:15. Mr. Brian isn't here yet, and I'm afraid if it's the pleasure of the board, maybe we could move Mr. Gale up to fill that gap.
Thank you. Is there any motions on the floor to take Jonathan Gale out of order?
I make that motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jonathan, you're up.
Okay, is it okay if I stay here?
You're the ADA coordinator. Do you think folks at home can hear you?
I think folks can definitely hear me.
All right.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm here with regard to the meeting that we had last for the Board of Selectmen. You at that time, as not yet chairperson, asked me to provide a letter of explanation as to what the 40B committee would be, what it's involved, and roughly what the makeup would be. I have since done that. You should have that in your packet.
Yep.
You asked me to have it for this evening's meeting. So I'm here before you to ask for the same again, so that we can reconstitute, reestablish the 40B / AKA Fair Housing Committee. Mr. Karen is already on that with me at this point in time. It would be a matter, as we put it together, and Mr. Karen and I meet, attempting to get other members, and as is noted in the correspondence that I provided, asking first for various committees in town to provide liaisons to be on that. If they do not, we will certainly go out to the public, but the first attempt would be to go out to those committees. Again, you have that document before you as requested.
Thank you. How many members will be on this committee?
7.
7 members.
Right.
And how many liaisons?
There would be, as of this time, there would be 6, plus a member of the community. That's up to. Now, that's assuming that the various committees in that letter you have there all designate. If they don't, then we would open it up to more public slots.
Right. Is it a 3-year term?
That's correct.
Ralph, did you meet with Mr. Gales on this as well?
We had met earlier in the year, and actually, I had provided a letter of support to the CBA for the food committee, and I had in my notes to the selectmen, the copy which I had sent to the ZBA. Still in support of the 40B committee. I think it will perform a necessary function. You know, two critical functions they perform, which I think we haven't been doing. Well, one adherence to the housing production plan, and two, the biannual reporting of our housing inventory.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you both for that information. Either any questions?
I think it's a good idea that we do it. We've done it before, and it's time to reorganize it and start again.
Great. Any questions?
No, other than full confidence in Jonathan's ability to run this and do a great job.
Awesome. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make that motion to reestablish the 40B committee.
Is there a second?
So,
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone like to read the announcements?
Are we ready? On Saturday, April 25th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, will coordinate with the Dayton Police Department for a one-day collaborative prescription drug take-back event. The event provides an opportunity for the public to surrender pharmaceutical controlled substances and other medications. The Dayton Historical Society invites you to a special afternoon with John Adams on Sunday, April 26th, starting at 2 p.m. at Old Town Hall, 1111 Somerset Avenue. The Dayton Historical Society also invites you to their annual plant sale on Saturday, May 16th, from 2026, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Dayton Historical Society, 1217 William Street, Dayton, rain or shine.
Perfect. We got 2 minutes.
Want to approve the warrants, maybe?
Sure. Could I have a motion to take the approval of the warrants out of order?
Sure, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now the warrants. Glenn has them.
Glenn, yep, do you mind reading those warrants?
Certainly,
Right there.
Oh, that's, this is gonna read these. Yep.
just the data rating.
Yep.
Warrants paid by April 16th, 2026, 42A-26, $140,518.88. Warrant 42B-26, $143,500.25. Warrants paid by April 23rd, 2026, 43A-26, $127,985.68. 43B-26, $192,079.91.
Perfect. So we have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good.
Yeah, 6:15, we're good.
Very good. All right. All right, so I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing for R.W. Bryan Contracting petition for pole locations, Tremont Street, setting of 2 poles.
Make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, is there anyone here for the pole hearing?
Yes, I am.
All right, awesome. You want to come to the podium?
Sure.
Introduce yourself.
How you doing? I'm Ben Bryant, Vice President of R.W. Bryant Contracting, Telecommunications Specialist. We're here to petition the setting of poles for a essentially a municipal fiber project that we're working on to connect a lot of the essentially like municipal locations, whether it be the transfer station, the animal control, things of that nature. So, you know, obviously over the years trajectories, there's better communication at the speed of light when it comes to fiber optics. So we're politely requesting to set 2 telephone poles on Tremont Street. One thing I wanted to note is yesterday I met with a developer, and apparently there's going to be some work going on where they're going to be developing a subdivision, if you will. So one of the telephone poles that we were asking to set is going to be modified and moved to the opposing side of the road. I reached out to the town, expressed this, and I realized that with that modification, we may have to punt into another hearing where I could get the more updated information and make sure that we true that up for you guys honorably. So with that being said, we're really looking only to set, to get approval to set one of the poles at this point in time. You know, we've gone through the proper steps with your butters and what have you. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. So we have a T1 and a T2. Which pole is gonna stay as presented?
Great question. The pole that will stay as presented will be T2, Tango 2.
And T1 is gonna now go across the street.
That is correct.
And what's the notification process for butters for that? Do you know how much time in advance that they need?
That's a good question. I'd have to double check with the departments, but I know it has to go into the newspaper, and then also all the letters have to be sent out. And I'm assuming there must be at least maybe a 3 to 4 week turnaround time to allow them, you know, to either approve or disapprove.
I guess the reason I ask is if you can give us that change of scope, like, do you think that's possible to do maybe by tomorrow? Because I
Yes.
think we can move up the hearing
Much
to our
appreciated.
next meeting.
And yes, that's the game plan.
Okay, all
Thank
right,
you so much.
great. I don't have any questions.
No.
No? No questions?
I had a couple just general questions. I was looking at Google Earth and seeing it, how it laid out on Tremont Street. Is there a gap in poles? I
There
saw
is.
some on the west end, and there's just nothing in the middle. That's what you're filling in.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep, just to make that aerial continuity, if you will.
Is there much tree work that needs to be done? I noticed in the photos I looked at, there was a lot of.
Great question. Honestly, there is some, you know, vegetation, if you will, to be concerned with. Where we originally were setting the poles, we had a great line for the poles to be set and for the cables to be attached and properly sagged in. And when I met with the developer yesterday, he was expressing the concern of the driveways they were putting in, and I was letting him know he's probably gonna have to go to petition to set poles too, so he can service these houses. But we really pushed back on T1, Tango 1 being moved, because if you try to put that one on the other side of the road, the south side, if you will, across the street, it's not going to work for us. I would then be requesting to go underground, which can, you know, offset costs and budgets and what have you. So, good question. As of this point in time, as long as we can keep Tango 1 in place as planned, that will give us the proper clearance to dodge around these tree concerns we all have. We're definitely not here to disturb the town's residents and or municipals with chopping a bunch of trees or getting anywhere into that stuff. We're not simply here to do that. So if we've done, we could audible around that.
No one in the public for this hearing? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve. Let's we have one open, close the public hearing.
All right, we have a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. So, we still do need a motion to approve
Approve the,
poll
number 2.
T2.
Now make that motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you guys want to open your meeting?
We are here tonight. The Old Town Hall, we are joining the Board of Selectmen meeting. The date is April 22nd. It is 6:30 PM. Can I have a roll call? Present, Susan Lorenz, present.
Ron McKay, present.
Doug White present.
Tracy Carolsick, present.
Thomas Arujo, present.
All right, very good. So we're here to discuss the annual town meeting warrant, placement of articles.
So the first one is the function of the Board of Selectmen. You can use place all the articles as presented, or if there's any you don't want to strike those, just the move place the ones you want on. And then once those are placed, then vote the finance committee.
I have no problems with what's presented, Peter.
No.
Nope. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, is there a second? All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so next we have the fiscal year 2027 annual town meeting warrant articles and funding recommendations. So my understanding is we're just trying to.
So since the Board of Selectmen placed all of the articles, the Finance Committee needs to make their recommendations on the articles. Besides, we can either do the budget first or last, and then they can make their recommendations on the articles that have dollar amounts besides the general budget article.
Recommend we try to rectify any differences first, doing that part of the budget first.
We can do that first.
Okay. Awesome. So the first one that I see is elections, 162.
No, it's actually Department 132.
All right.
Finance Committee reserves.
So we had 50,000, FinCom recommends 55.
All right.
Peter?
Well, we were looking at tight numbers at the time, and we still are. I don't know if you can afford the extra $5,000 at this time, considering some of the other accounts that we had increased.
What is our wiggle room? What is our excess levy?
So based on the Finance Committee's recommendation, they did make a couple of changes in revenues. They asked me some questions about revenues. We dived into that, so we increased the earnings on investment. I did go ahead and decrease the pilot agreement. There is one person that is not responding and not paying. So with that reduction and the reduction on the expense sides, our excess levy is $35,000 and 143.
And that's with FinCom's numbers.
Yes. And that's with using a total of $455 for free cash, which is not all towards the budget. That covers some other article things as well.
Okay.
35,000 isn't a lot of money.
It's not. For this article, I'd rather match the FinCom.
Yeah.
I mean, I always suppose put into reserves.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just my opinion. Glenn, what are your thoughts?
Just want to make sure I'm in the right location.
Oh, right, we're 132, we're looking right here.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So our off by 5,000 with some comment now.
I think I agree with Peter. I'd be inclined to stay with the original board's recommendation of the 50.
So we made a lot of cuts to a lot of budgets last year, so my concern is that if departments go negative, there's not gonna be anywhere to get money from.
How much is in the reserve fund now?
The reserve, the finance committee right now
Yes.
has 39,000, but we did just hear that the fire department is gonna take up, how much? 23,000 of that.
Wow.
So I'm gonna try to have that for the first.
Mhm.
And the fire department will be presenting, they have what they call a catastrophic failure to one of the ambulances, it's just completely out of commission. So it's, you know, for lack of a better term, they're gonna have to redo the engine. So it's
Wow.
completely unexpected.
Yeah.
It's, no longer the warranty.
Mhm. So your recommendation would be the 55?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any motions on the floor?
I guess we'll go to 55. I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'd like to stay with the 50.
Okay, I'm gonna step down in second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. No, okay, very good. So Serena, is the next one elections?
Yes.
Okay, so 162 elections. If I remember correctly, we tabled this because we thought we weren't sure if there would be, if we needed to have that special election for the school building project. Our town administrator has since informed us we should schedule it, right? Is that it should be funded, right?
It should be
It should
funded.
be funded.
But there, because initially, the assumption was there would be a special town meeting and a special election. The bulk of the budget for it would go for the special election. The DES building committee worked, well, maybe, you know, they moved it around, hoping that they could do both the election, both the debt exclusion election and the same time as the annual election. Then it's constantly changing. So now they're back to, I think we need a special, I think we're gonna need, if we get the 2/3 vote at the special town meeting, it will require a special election. So I think it's best to fund it in preparation for the special election.
Peter, do you have any questions?
No, it makes sense. I know we were trying to save some money by it, but if it's so up in the air, rather have the money in the account than not. But there's no concrete dates. It's too early.
Right,
But it's gonna be in the fiscal calendar year, so we'll have to do it.
absolutely. Glenn, any comments?
My understanding is by combining them, you had, Ralph, I think you had said 10,000.
Approximately $10,000, right? Yeah.
I certainly can't argue with that.
Anything from the finance committee?
So the numbers that are here, town administrator recommendations, these are with all 4 elections?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question. So explain to me why we wouldn't be able to just combine it with the general election.
It has to do with timing. If and we are on the MSBA's schedule. So we have to, it has to be presented to the the Dayton Elementary School project has to be presented to the MSBA to get accepted, and then at that point, then we figure out, then the cost is figured out. We need that cost so we could go to the special town meeting. Because at the special town meeting, then 60 days after that, then you have the election. 45 days after that, then you have the election. That all happens in March, which, if that's the soonest it could happen, it's like end of March, April. And then that pushes out the election date past the annual town election.
Now, we are going to get a $662,000 rebate for the feasibility study that we spent 1.3 million, roughly 1,350,000. Are we going to have that before the election back, or do we get that after we get those MSB numbers?
So
Serena's better, it's because she's been submitting the reimbursement fees, so I'll have Serena.
I guess because would that money then be available for some of these type situations that we're running into, or even, to pay for the extra election if we needed it?
I'm not sure what the timing is going to be on the reimbursement. I filed the first one April 6th. I know in Rockland, it was about 6 to 8 months out before we received that money back years ago. So I'm not sure how fast they are returning those funds yet. So I honestly can't judge when we would have all of those funds.
So we may not have them for 2027.
Correct, because I can't submit until we've spent out at least 50,000. So now I have to wait until, the invoices are up there, but it doesn't mean I can file whenever I want. I have to wait for a certain dollar amount, and then I'm not sure if the turnaround is yet.
One question, Serena. Am I correct that the reimbursement money we get can only be used on the school project?
Yes.
Yeah, not elections or anything else?
Not on the election. I would have to dive into that, but I don't think so.
No, I think it's the building itself, that project.
Yep.
So when it came from we took it from reserve or from free cash? Capital outlay? It doesn't go back to stabilization?
So when we can it doesn't automatically go back, no.
But we can bring it back.
Yeah, it's a 2/3 vote to put into stabilization. So that would have to be at a town meeting.
And that would give us some money we need.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't affect it now.
Yeah, the timing of it would be.
Timing is up in the air, but.
All right, anything else from the finance committee? Is there a motion on the floor on our end?
I'll make so what do we,
Well, we have no recommendation right now.
right, so I'd make the same recommendation that the town administrator has recommended along with the finance committee. I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Serena, I don't believe we didn't vote on this either, did we?
We did, yes. Finance committee did, yes.
Okay, making sure. Thank you.
Conservation 171.
So the Board of Selectmen didn't vote. We voted to table this because we didn't get the paperwork for professional and technical for the zero base.
Correct.
We ever get that?
We did.
We did?
Yeah, yes, we did. It was on my desk. Sorry, I didn't include it in that. We did get it.
Okay.
I think that was just a procedure thing that we wanted. I don't think we had a disagreement with the numbers. We just didn't have any backup information for it.
Right. Wow. Yeah, my motivation was to make sure everyone follows and plays by the same rules that every other department had to follow. So that's why I asked for it.
Yeah.
Any other comments, Peter?
No.
Glenn?
If I could, my apologies, but really not having any background on what this is about, can I get just a real quick kind of nickel definition of what the project and the funds are for?
No, I haven't. You can make it.
Yeah, well, the Conservation Commission, you know, they gave their presentation, but what we got hung up on was just the professional and technical line.
Okay.
We know maybe it's for attorneys or, you know, whatever else needs to run the department. We just didn't get the backup, because for our zero base, we require the departments to break it down, you know, into more greater detail. So, but it sounds like we do have it on file with the town administrator. But other than that, their request was pretty similar to the year prior.
Thank you.
Anything from the finance committee? Is there any motions on the table?
For us, I made the motion that we approve the conservation, well, I'll make the motion that we approve the conservation's finance committee and town administrator's recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Is it agricultural commission?
Yeah, I can say them, I
Alright.
do have them highlighted. So I have Department 189.
So the Board of Selectmen recommended 400 and FinCom 900. Department request was 900 as well.
I thought he changed it. Didn't he mention something about not needing as much?
I think we looked at, has he spent anything yet this fiscal year?
He hasn't,
Right.
not up to date, which is why when he came before us, he talked about more about a pamphlet style thing. They were gonna do a breakfast or a luncheon. They were trying to do more outreach. And since he hadn't spent the funds we allotted last year, we figured with a more outreach program that we would try and fund his efforts this year.
Okay, very good.
He needs it. I have no problem giving it to him. They do great work. They used to have a get together, I don't know if you remember that, at the Bristol Aggie School. And they stopped doing it because funds.
Okay,
And maybe they picked it back up again.
absolutely.
What was the reason they stopped?
Funding?
Funding.
Any questions, Glenn?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make the motion to go with the finance committee and town administrator's recommendation.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next one is the Police Department 210. This is because I was able to finalize the chief's salary and the SROs and the deputy chief. So the finance committee does have the accurate dollar amounts.
It's not much of a difference.
No.
What's the difference?
It was just timing. It's a 52-week. I think the chief is getting his degree in the middle of the fiscal year, so I was just making sure that we were on the same page with them for their calculations and whatnot. And I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, I
I'll
didn't.
say, and there was just a few other officers that are receiving steps, so just to make sure we're all
And
on
the
the same page.
Degree,
In education,
prompts an increase in salary is a part of the contract.
contractually, yes, he gets 20% for a bachelor's degree.
Any other questions? Peter, any
No.
questions? Anything from the finance committee? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the town administrators and finance committee recommendation.
All right, is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next one is the dispatchers, Department 215. Initially, when this was presented with the Board of Selectmen, I reduced it by 20,000 for the grant money. And then doing some research and discussing it with the administrator that is actually doing the grants in that department. we realized that these grants were reimbursement grants, so we do have to pay the money up front and then file for reimbursement. So I put the 20,000 back in for the finance committee recommendations.
That makes sense.
Any questions, Peter?
No,
Glenn?
no.
Okay, anything from the finance committee on this?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to go with the town administrator's recommendation and the finance committee's recommendation.
Is there a second?
Second.
All righty, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then just below that, the 220, the fire department, the chief settled his contract. And then the other difference,
Yeah, maintenance.
I was gonna say the call firefighters,
I think, yeah, we both firefighters.
So what was the number?
the call fire, the next one, fire department 220.
Okay.
So the chief and then the call firefighter, Ralph and I had missed giving them a 2% COLA increase, so we corrected that. And the line 5240, the finance committee increased it to 25,000 where the BOS has 20.
Why'd you guys increase it?
Carpet repairs. It was the vehicles, I believe.
Yes.
Is it the fire chiefs that,
Fire chief just got a brand new car.
Well, it was about the there are things that go inside the car.
So that wouldn't be a repair.
yes, it was for repairs.
Could be under maintenance, maybe.
No, I know it's in repair, but outfitting a car wouldn't be listed as repair.
Mhm.
So that's why I was wondering why, what was the motivation for increasing it 5,000?
And I know, I don't have it right, a note on my, I got on paper.
Through the chair, if I was at the meeting about the, for your memory, the finance committee was looking across the board, similar to what the Board of Selectmen did. They noticed that that line item is running in the negative, $4,127. And through the fire chief and the patching stuff together, so they're looking for things in the budget to sort of, as you were, the Board of Selectmen was as well, to increase that maintenance line. I hope that's an accurate recounting of what happened at the meeting.
I remember on our end, that was what our discussion was. We heard the fire chief talk about how close he was cutting it for repairs and maintenance, and we also saw us in the negative, so the Board of Selectmen went up to 20,000 to kind of try to satisfy, make sure we're investing in our fire department, and it's kind of hard to choose a number, but that one was kind of close to running even with this fiscal year, I guess.
But we weren't gonna have the chief's car to fix anymore.
That's another part
That
of
was
it,
one of
right?
the things he had said.
Should we recommend?
25.
Does the finance committee want to make any changes? Or-
I was just gonna ask, does anybody have any problems with making any changes for us?
As far as what?
Bringing it back down to 20,000.
No, I think we should stay at 25. I mean, I think he's cutting his budget pretty close.
Okay.
I mean, he's cutting it tight. He's really doing a good job at cutting it tight.
Mm-hmm.
And my general feeling is things happen, especially with all the equipment and everything that they have, and we need to make sure that they have something not to run in the negative. Because then what's gonna happen? He's gonna come back and say, well, I need the money for this.
Well, I'm gonna ask one question too. We have, our fire engine is new, correct? Well, fairly new. Am I correct?
Right.
And the chief has the fire
Vehicle.
chief has a new vehicle.
Right.
With those things in mind, and if our budget is tight, I think I would be willing to cut back to 20,000. Because quite honestly, I don't have a note here and I don't know the specificity of why we did go up to 25.
I remember
If I'm
talking to him
being
about
honest.
his new car, and like I said, the other one was old and needed was constantly in need of repair.
Which is why
So-
he asked for the new one.
Right,
And it was the police car that was in the accident, am I correct? Not the fire.
right.
So it wasn't the fire department's car that got hit with the tree, it was a police car.
Correct.
It wasn't the deputy chief's car.
Yeah,
that got hit
if
by
I
a
may,
tree?
we did the fire chief's original, before he got the new one, a limb fell
Oh,
off,
it's
so
fine.
it was the fire chief's car.
It
That
was
was
a fire
supposed to go
chief's
to the deputy, to go to the fire captain, so.
Okay, so we lost a vehicle with
We
the
lost
fire
the-
department.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so maybe that's why we brought it up to 5,000, because now they are not asking for a new vehicle, but depending on a vehicle already in.
I think they were 2004.
Yeah, they're driving an older vehicle now,
Okay.
and I think that's why we raised it
To 25.
to 25.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if they went from the 20 and they needed the extra 5,
Mhm.
could they come back in a warrant and request the additional 5?
Not for June.
Not for June.
No, you're talking throughout the year. Can they just come to a town,
Come to
They
it.
would
a
have to go-
finance committee, or would that have to be a town vote?
So if it's similar to what's happening right now, so he has a tight budget. I know it's an ambulance, not the fire truck, so we'll see similar numbers when we look at the ambulance. So they would have to go to the reserve fund transfer. Fortunately, he kept it at 55, so there you go. So it would have to be reserve fund.
Transfer, and that can take place at one of our meetings.
Yes, yeah.
If we go with 20.
So your thought is if we go to the 20, he could still do a transfer fee.
Should it be necessary?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Can I just make one point?
Yes.
So through the end of March, he has already spent $20,300.
Yeah, that included his one vehicle.
So that would put him 300 in the negative?
He current,
If we only had 20,000.
yes, if you only budget 20,000,
Mhm.
as of today, he'd be 300 negative. And there's still 3 more months.
Does that include the engine failure on the
No.
ambulance? That's because that's a different budget.
That
So
just
that's
happened like
just-
2 days ago.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
We didn't know about that.
But that
Mhm.
includes him repairing his old vehicle for a year or 6 months.
Which is, that vehicle's still on the road. Yes. The 2004 is still driving around because the one got hit by the tree.
We're gonna have to
Right.
vote on it, but we can just vote it down.
Insurance repaired it,
Insurance paid a portion of it.
a portion of it.
What's your thought?
Okay, we did have a motion and a second. We still do have to vote on. Do we have any more conversation?
I'm sorry, I guess I missed the motion that was made for finance committee.
Make a motion that we remain at 25,000.
Well, no, we don't have to make a motion because we didn't change it. I
Okay.
thought you had made a motion to go down to 20.
No,
Okay,
no.
so we're good.
We're good.
Okay,
We
any other
can't just push it in
discussion?
the negative.
I don't agree.
No? Glenn, any discussion? Any motions on the floor?
I make a motion to keep it at the 20.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any
Wait.
discussion?
I'm sorry, that's not specific enough.
No, we have to go with the new number,
Okay,
which is gonna be what, Serena?
855,256.39.
855,
What line is it?
286.59,
It's the department total for Department 220 fire.
so
In line number
8523659,
5204.
855,
855,
Line number
256,
256,
39 cents.
39 cents. I make that motion.
okay, we have a motion, and is there a second?
Could I hear the motion again? I'm sorry.
A motion to decrease, keep our budget the same minus, well, it's 855,236,
No,
no, 256, I can't read my own writing, 39 cents,
so it's basically the finance committee's recommendation minus $5,000.
$5,000.
Through the chair, if I just may give out the new member, like a quick what just happened. The reason why the number is different, looks like it's 5,000 difference. Just again, to pick up, we had to do, Serena had some updates on the salary. So that's primarily where the difference came in. And the $5,000 difference is in the maintenance. So that's why it's different than the original BOS number and my original number. So we just had update those numbers.
I know we have a motion. Is it possible to ask a question? Or-
If you want to second it, I should have had you second it, we can continue discussing. And then if you don't like it, the motion can die, we can all vote no. So unless you want to withdraw your motion, we have a motion, we should take a vote.
Finish the motion.
Are you gonna second it?
I'll second.
All right, now, any discussion? There you go.
You mentioned $300 that's already been spent. Is that correct? Do we
So
want
if
to
you
include
look
that?
on the third column in, it says 26 actual expenditures, it's shortened, through March 31st. It says 20,296.
Okay.
So that's what he has spent through March.
Okay.
This year.
And you still have 3 months left to go.
And there's still 3 months. So, right. So at the end of March, that line was negative $4,000.
So I guess my question is, does it make sense to include the 300 in addition to keep it at the 20,000, but add 300 to it, if I'm getting that right? Forgive me if I'm not.
No,
Doesn't make sense.
because that this over budget is gonna come not from next year's budget, which is what we're doing now.
Okay.
It'll come as, what paying last year's
So
bills.
this year, because we vote a bottom line budget, as long as his total budget is a positive number,
Yep,
another line will account for that line being negative.
okay,
But next year, like, as a whole, he can't go negative. That's all,
Okay.
but like one line could go.
So one other line item could be less $300, so that would put the bottom line item where it needs to be.
Oh, thank
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
no,
All in favor?
aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Motion carries.
So the next department is the ambulance, the next page, 231, and that the only changes there is his contractual salary, and then the call firefighters with the 2%, which the finance committee has the correct dollar amount.
I have no questions.
No.
Peter?
All set.
No. Anything on the finance committee? Is there any motions on the floor?
I'll make a motion that we go with the town administrators and the finance committee's recommendation.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
you. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next one is on page 11, 300, education.
I have no discussion on this.
This was the source of contention.
I mean, my thoughts, I support the schools and, but they have their own budget hearings and they have their own public forums and we don't really get that line by line.
Mhm.
They do present to us for
Right.
sure, but it's an assessment.
Yeah.
So that was my thoughts. It's hard to recommend it if I don't have all those details.
Sure.
A lot of these things that we're recommending, we did get a lot of detail. Nothing against the schools, it's just they have their own process.
I never agreed with the 3.606%. But I guess I'll make the motion to go with the finance committee and the town administrator's recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then the following page, the Dayton Berkeley Bridge, number 429.
So the Board of Selectmen recommended 1,200 and FinCom 1,450, which is also the town administrator recommendation.
I'd make the motion to go with the town administrators and finance committee's recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll make the second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next page, transfer station 435. Is the bulky trash. And photo stickers. Oh, so there's also a note on this one. We were doing a lot of math on the fly that day, so the calculation came out to 91,850 for the BOS rec, but then the vote was spoken as 92,850. So that's that little note on the bottom there, but we can fix that.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the last part of your explanation.
I was just saying that the verbiage on the vote for the selectmen was 92,000 where it should have been 91.
Okay,
So that's just explaining my note on the bottom,
okay.
but they can correct that now. Any other changes?
I'm not sure why we didn't go with Tom's recommendation. Or Tom, his request.
I think we looked at the spending, what they had spent year to date, to break it down.
But they don't think they had a bulky pickup yet.
I think that was part
Oh,
of.
that's the transfer station, right? Right, we did go with the head spend.
Through the chair, if I may, as a reminder, was we were looking at the spending may have been reduced, bulky transfer may be reduced because of the weather. Just also a note, something we received after the Board of Selectmen made their recommendations. We don't know the number yet, but bulk items, bulk transfer will be going up. We received a notification. They said they anticipate an increase. They didn't give us that increase yet.
What did get it? We had like a 9% increase for trash. What was that?
All across the board, a lot of the stuff we received was the increases came from contractual agreements that we have across the board. So trash in general is the disposal of trash is going up. We have a few options.
Well, then I'd go with the town administrators and finance committee's recommendation as a motion.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, motion carries. Anything from the finance committee on that?
No.
Okay.
And then page 15, the Veterans Department 543. One difference is the fuel and the travel.
The difference is.
We had decreased the amounts for fuel and travel, only because it wasn't showing that it's been used up to this point. And so that was our thought behind those drops.
Office supplies, we agree on 700, which is less than.
The town administrator was 1,200.
Right. I have no questions. No. Anything from the finance committee? Anything else on that?
Anyone?
No.
No. Any motions on the table over here?
Make a motion to go with the finance committee's recommendation.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm an aye, motion carries.
And then just below that, the library, Department 610. Which we do have the library director and a trustees here as well.
Awesome, very good. Yeah, if you guys.
I'll let you have a chance to get.
Oh, perfect, okay. How are you?
Very, very good. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for being here.
No problem. Happy to be here. So I presented a new budget with a few corrections to a few lines to the Finance Committee at their previous meeting. I just want to go over those real quick. First and foremost, line 5105. As I said to the Finance Committee, when an entire room gives me a message, I hear that message. This includes a COLA increase. That line is now, as it appears, $67,946.40. Again, I heard you all loud and clear, so that's in there. I also heard you at the last meeting, Chairman Pacheco, with line 5106. Initially, I had that line higher, including the part-time position that's going to replace the retirement. However, in speaking with the trustees, because that position shifted from full-time to part-time due to the retirement, we initially kept it the same pay rate, but then we looked at it again, and then from going full-time to part-time, some responsibilities were removed from that position, and that as makes sense. So it didn't, logically, it just made sense to drop that pay rate to a lower pay rate, just because responsibilities were removed and such. So in so doing that, that put it in a range that I felt comfortable taking it off the appropriation and putting it with grant funds. So I did that. That's why that line has dropped significantly. In order to offset that, I put back in line 5107, the part-time page 12,000, which is an existing position. That's a good position. And then I basically level funded lines 5300 and 5510. That brings me at $315,984. Even though, again, as I said previously, that the bottom line looks like it is an increase. It's actually, if you compare the 610 lines from the previous year, the 610 lines what I'm proposing, it's about a 19.9% reduction in the 610 budget. So there is a significant savings there. The one I presented with you last meeting was a 17% reduction. This one's basically a 20%. And so Finance Committee voted on it, and I'm here hopeful this one will meet your liking.
Awesome. Thank you for your creativity and all your research and coming to all of our different meetings, and
I'm glad you're happy to have me.
we appreciate that for sure.
Thank you.
Happy to hear you're able to find some more savings, and I know it's difficult in this environment right now, so.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes out of the box thinking. Sometimes it takes proposing things that get shot down, but that's part of the process. So,
right.
as part of you never know what you're proposing, so that's part of the process.
Absolutely, right.
Yep.
And you keep smiling and coming up with new ideas, right?
Yeah.
So that's huge. Absolutely. Well, I don't have any questions other than thanks. Peter? No? Awesome. Very good. That sounds good so far. Is there any motions on the
I'll
floor?
make a motion to go with the town administrators and the finance committee's recommendation.
All right, is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank
Thank you.
I just want to thank you all for your support throughout the whole process. It was a process, but I appreciate it.
It was.
Thank you. And I'm Selectman Cabbage. You weren't really part of that process, so I'm going to thank you in advance for the support you're going to show in the future. So
It's gonna get easier.
Could he be in charge of the education budget? That creativity?
Right, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got to clear with the trustees first. We don't have a quorum for that. I'll put on the agenda for their next meeting.
That's right. You had a witness.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
The next one is page 16, the town historian, 690.
So the board voted 0 on this because I've never seen the stipend been used as long as I've been involved. I feel if it hasn't been used, not to fund it personally.
Right, I agree.
How you feel?
No thoughts at this time.
Perfect. Anything from the finance committee on that?
We did go down to 125. We just thought it was it is a position, it's a placeholder. And again, it's not that much of a placeholder because as historically it goes, she doesn't take it.
Right.
Right. Is there any motions on the floor?
I make a motion to keep it at 0.
Okay. So we don't need a
Yep, that's
motion.
fine, yep. Just move on.
All right, well, we have a motion and a
There's-
second. We might as well go for it. Any
Yeah.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
The next page, 17, for group health insurance, Department 914.
we didn't have all the information, I believe, for our meeting, right?
I think,
Well, yeah.
the library
Two
thing.
things, right, two things, Hartford, we shifted, the library is, to keep their budget up, is taking on some of the group health insurance, so we took it out of the group health insurance budget, put it into the library budget. Additionally, we had we had a discussion with the town treasurer, to see, he builds in a little bit of padding in case we get a new employee or something of that nature, so we kind of trimmed that down even a little more, so the number that was presented to and recommended by the finance committee shows those two elements.
Peter, any questions?
No,
Glenn?
make a motion to go with the finance committee's recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Also,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then the last page, the sewer department just needs a little update. I have a real number for the indirect costs. I was just waiting to see what the insurance increase was gonna be. And so the finance committee's recommendation is the accurate number.
Make that motion.
Is second?
second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Very good. So now we're gonna do, the finance committee's gonna do their funding recommendations.
You looking at me? Sure.
Yep.
So the first one on the article list is the prior year bills, $652.96. My suggestion, I have that accounted for in free cash. Somebody does need to make a motion in a second, yes.
Okay, make a motion that we pay the 600 and
You can just say prior year bills.
prior year bills out of free cash.
Second.
In the amount of
$652.96.
$652.96.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
So Rujo, aye.
The next article is number 9, to fund the FY 26 snow and ice deficit at $350,000. Just a side note, I checked it today and we were negative $345,000. So I don't know if you're safe with 350 because I'm thinking we might not be. No, we're stuck. But I think there's something we said for him to look into this year, which is not accounted for in this number. Transmission or something?
Oh, the transfer.
The field goal that's only used
Yeah.
for snow. So I haven't seen a hard number from that. So then you wanna do like 560, 360, yes.
That's a lot of snow.
I know, sorry.
It's still like a 560 route.
Yeah.
So we're going to the 360 so we can fix the transmission on the truck that lost its transmission during the storm.
Yes,
Do you agree with
yes.
360?
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we put 360,000 into snow and ice
Free cash.
from free cash.
Second.
All those in favor? Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Rujo, aye.
Okay, the next one the selectmen have recommended is number 14, to deposit 25,000 into the stabilization fund. And I do have that accounted for in free cash.
Okay.
Motion to put $25,000 into free cash.
Into
into
stabilization,
stabilization from free cash.
yes.
Second,
All those in favor? Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Tom Russo, aye.
Okay, I'm gonna skip past police and highway right now, because we're not gonna have money to fund all of these.
Correct.
So the next one is number 19, the SNHG check recon, 145,310.41, which I do have accounted for in free cash. We can give this to Doug if it's easier for me to read.
So SNHG is the health group, am I correct?
Yes.
And this is, oh, is this the,
That was the
The
check.
void-
check?
The mortgage
Stop
check,
payment.
yeah, that went through.
I have a motion.
Yes, I make a motion that we fund number 19, SNHG check bank recon correction, $145,310.41 from free cash.
Second,
Okay, Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Tom Russo, aye.
Thank you. And then the next one is to fund unemployment with $50,000, and I have that accounted for in free cash.
Okay.
I make a motion that we fund unemployment with $50,000 from free cash.
Second,
Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Tom Russo, aye.
Thank you. And the next one, Pleasant Street Bridge for $28,000. This would be to purchase easements.
This is, excuse me, for what?
Pleasant Street Bridge.
To purchase,
Easements.
Easements for the,
Ah.
bridge. Okay, I got a newer number, 20,000,
okay,
20, yeah.
20,000. 20 even.
Mhm.
I make a motion that the Pleasant Street Bridge
easements.
easements for 20,000 funded from free cash.
Second,
All those in favor? Susan Lorenz, aye.
Ron McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Tom Russo, aye.
Thank you. Okay, so at this point, free cash has 339,654. So 339,654.
Okay,
So that leaves the 2 admin requests from police and the 2 trucks from highway.
so those trucks from highway, are we looking to outright purchase or are we looking for a lease?
So these came in at 4.65%. I do not suggest leasing.
Okay,
How many trucks are they buying, considering the, like 17 says trucks with power? with
They're
power.
asking for 2 trucks. Each has,
So each one has their own, but that's not supposed to be plural.
excuse me?
Trucks, it's not purchasing more than one.
yeah, we can correct that. They're separated.
Yeah.
So each truck is 2.
Right.
There's 2 trucks for 295.
Being requested.
We have 300,000.
339,
You can't do both.
correct. And then the admin is also, the police is also asking for 2 admin vehicles.
Why are the different prices, do you know?
One of them, he's got a quote for a trade-in. I took that into account.
Yeah.
And I have the capital outlay rankings if you want that information.
And
You said you have a capital outlay.
Yes. Okay, so we ranked the replacement of the police chief out of 50. We ranked it as a score of 22. To replace the police deputy, we ranked that at 19. And then the 2 highway trucks, the one that is fully out of commission, the 2005, we ranked that with a 37 out of 50. And the 2004, we ranked at 34.
Those trucks thinking when it was thinking that this year's snow was an aberration and we're not gonna need the trucks next year?
It was, we on capital outlay based it on, a need that we saw at this moment. We don't take into consideration really the funding sources. With capital outlay, it's more of the need. We score on the need of it at this moment.
Well, I guess my question is, and Tom has brought this to our attention a couple of times, the amount of vehicles behind that police station. That we need 2 administrative vehicles, and they're both, like, I would say they're all the top middle. Are they in that bad of shape? I guess that's my,
If I remember correctly, the 2 administrative vehicles are, mileage is north, I'm definitely north of 100, over 100,000, maybe 120, 140. There, one is one of 2018. I think the Chiefs is a 2018 vehicle, like the 2019, and the.
Doesn't sound so bad.
are we showing repair problems for both these kids, repair histories? For these cars?
We ranked it as a no change for maintenance costs.
So that doesn't-
And if I recall, Tom's equipment is 25 to 30 years old.
I think that the 2 trucks that we own, one's a 2004, one's a 2005.
So he's got
The
these
Thomas trucks.
over 20
Yes.
years old.
I have no doubt, it's not the
Yeah.
police station.
And if I understand it correctly, these police vehicles are not gonna be fully equipped, they're just administrative cars to drive.
Well, they have the radios in it and
Yeah, but
probably the computer also, am I correct?
It doesn't have the
The cage,
and it's not an old.
not the rifle or whatever the vehicle equipment is.
Is there gonna be availability for the 750,000 that we got reimbursed by Dayton Rehoboth to help pay some of these bills?
No,
That's going into the school funding.
No, they reimbursed us that. This is not the feasibility study. This is the money that we got a reimbursement from DR.
so that's gonna end up closing out within FY 26 free cash. So that won't be available until the fall. The fall, yeah.
So we could revisit those in the fall?
Yeah.
You know, free cash is one of the funding sources.
Do you have any suggestions for any other source for these requests?
The regular stabilization fund has about 2.3 million. Not really recommending to use that money. I feel we're gonna get jammed up very
We
quickly.
start using that, right?
And the same thing with free cash. We always use all of our free cash. There's gonna hit a point where we're not gonna have that much free cash.
So the recommendation from capital outlay, a score of 37 on which?
So
2005 truck.
the one that is fully out of commission, yep.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
highway,
And which line is that one? 18 or?
it doesn't matter. They're both the same dollar.
So you need a motion for that because we're gonna be out of money basically then.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna you'll have to make a motion on each article, so we have something printed, either recommended or not, recommending a funding source or not recommending.
Mhm.
So start with 15. Make a motion that the 15 and 16 fully equipped police admin vehicles in the amount of 66,000 and 62,500, that we do not fund those items.
Second,
Roll call vote, Susan Lorenz? Agree? Aye.
John McKay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carol, aye.
Tom Rougeau, aye.
I make a motion that the one plow truck gets funded in the amount of $295,854.45 from free cash.
Second,
Roll call vote, nay?
Ron McKay. Okay,
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carroll, sick, aye.
Tom Rougeau, aye.
So that passes.
That passes.
That's free cash. Okay, so that is all the finance committee needs to vote on. Do you agree?
Then we have to do-
Good.
Yeah, then we have to do recommendation.
Only for ones with them. We have their budget recommendation. We have the funding sources.
Yeah, but should be Article 4, Finance Committee recommends to,
Which one is Article 4?
Article 4 is the budget. So, I mean, with the selectmen vote to recommend, each article gets a recommendation. Selectmen recommend,
Sure.
and then Finance Committee recommends, and it's always, traditionally, we have it in the warrant, but for the financial articles, the Finance Committee votes whether to recommend or not to recommend.
Correct, it's only the financial articles.
Right, yeah. So I know you voted for free cash, but we should have, Finance Committee recommends to approve the language that we use, and the Board of Selectmen should go through the articles to say if you recommend or not recommend.
Okay.
I feel like we kind of did that, so do you want me to come up with a new total for BOS recommendations on the budget article? Because we did department by department, so I feel
No,
like that.
yeah, we did department by department, but I think, through the bar, are you comfortable just recommended, you know what the numbers are, to recommend it? As
Right now I have the finance committee numbers, I would have to do a little math to get the BOS number.
When we recommend them at the town meeting, we do call them out by article, and then we say finance committee recommends, or finance committee,
But
or
I
BOS.
think what he's after is that we are going to recommend a specific amount per article. Is that what you're?
No, just that we always listed it in the warrant, and we usually have those.
Oh,
Which one's
are you
rec-
referring to the other funding sources?
Correct.
That's gonna go into the motion?
When we do the final one, on the article, when we do the warrant, we always print on the warrant, Finance, Board of Selectmen recommend, Finance Committee recommend.
Correct.
And we always do that traditionally, we've done at this meeting. They go through each article, the selectmen recommend.
So we only did the changes, we didn't do each.
You only
article.
did the changes,
Right.
right?
So you're suggesting we do each article?
Yes.
Okay. I
But in
understand.
order to do that, wouldn't Serena need to update all the numbers for us? Because we've all got budgets with handwritten numbers all over them.
Okay, so I know the total general fund recommendations for the finance committee. I would just need a minute to get the final
Okay.
number for the BOS. But then within the motion, do you want them to say, 450 from ambulance and the 6,000 from Title V and the PEG access money? Because that's gonna be written into the motions for the budget article.
Yeah, we do it. I thought in general,
Not for every single article. The finance committee only needs every.
no, yes, I get that, but there's for the most part, there's recommendations on each article with the exception of a citizen's petition. So I think that if each, it's up to the board, we have to get it, we have to get it printed in, and this is our opportunity. So, I think we could start with the articles, as you review them, pretty much, they're simple, we're gonna get it from, planning board recommends the planning ones, and as you go through the articles, you just said, you vote to recommend. So I think, I don't know if you need the exact numbers at this time, if you wanted to take a moment for the budget one for Article 4.
Which one is it? I get it.
Can we take like a 5-minute recess? How's that sound?
You're the chairman.
Yeah, would you entertain a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to take a 5-minute recess.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye. All right.
So, also going to say. I'm going to say. Requested and what they recommended, and then we say what we.
Well, if you.
So we're just going with this bottom line. The department as. Make a motion to
She's going up her numbers.
accept any number. And then.
Yeah, sure.
Number may be different. So they'll do their number, and then.
Yes.
Three gallons. Drink when you shoot that.
So it's stuck
okay,
in
is
the
that what
truck.
it is?
Yep. It's right insulated. It sticks. I believe it's what's gonna happen. Okay.
Okay, make motion to come back into the executive session from recess.
All right, is there a second?
That's
All right, all in favor? Aye. Alrighty, so we're gonna go article by article. Is that how we're gonna do this? Okay. Serena, you gonna lead that discussion? No. Alright, so Article 1 is to hear the reports of town officials. That's a non-recommendation article, right? Okay. Article 2, to authorize the board of selectmen to appoint. That's not either. So Article 3, see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate. Do I have to read this whole thing?
You could just sort of give the synopsis of it, they have it.
So
Pay last year's bills.
Pay last
Article
year's
three,
bills.
last year's
in the amount of $652.96. And the is there a motion to recommend from free cash?
Make a motion to recommend.
All right, is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And we also need to vote, am I correct, Serena?
Did you say I didn't hear you?
Or yes or no?
All right,
We just
motion
voted,
carries.
so
You
we
are
don't need to-
Okay, just making sure.
You already did.
Did they vote to recommend it to the finance committee?
Yes, recommend.
Recommend?
Yeah.
Recommended free cash.
All right, Article
I was
4,
asking for case not. So, go ahead.
enact to establish the salaries of town officials for FY 27, and it's motion to recommend as printed, I would assume.
Are these, did you update that one? That they're making the recommendation as printed and it's not updated.
Those are the ones we had, no?
I did not do those numbers, so I don't know if you updated them.
Oh, those I did, yes.
Sorry.
So motion,
I'll make that motion.
is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Finance committee have to recommend that? Article 5, to see if the town will vote to raise by taxation or transfer from available funds the appropriation necessary to defray town charges and assessments as considered by the finance committee. Is there a motion to recommend? All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 6, to see if the town will vote to approve the following sums to be expended under the direction of the sewer commissioners. Is there a motion to recommend? Is
Motion to recommend.
there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 7, to see if the town will vote to amend the town bylaws, section 5, authorize revolving funds to add and establish the following funds or take any other action thereto.
Vote to recommend.
All right, motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I have, no discussion. Nope. On favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This one I have a question on. I have a question on, Commission on Disability, the, fund number is 000. Is that like the last four of the fund? Is that one?
No, I'm gonna update that. 3617,
3617 is the fund number?
yes.
Okay. Is there any motions to recommend Article 8?
Motion to recommend.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Excuse me,
Aye. Motion carries.
sorry, I found a typo on Article 6. So the total in bold is not 410. It's 408,608.14.
Tell me what page you're looking at.
12. Which will change the 44,000 to 42,783.14.
Is there a motion to recommend that as amended?
I'm going to amend my recommendation to go with a new total of $42,787.18.
For retained earnings and 408,608.14 as a total.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 8 was voted on. Article 9, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds the sum of $360,000 by free cash to fund the FY 26 snow and ice deficit. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second, but I did have a question as well.
Okay, any discussion?
The added 10,000 was, there was a failure of a transmission on a plow, is that right?
Yes.
And that's already taken care of?
No.
No, it has, okay.
Well, two things, one, the transmission, and two, we thought the bills were, when Serena first looked at it last week, it was 340, and it's now 345. We're in a deficit balance at 345 right now, so we think, we had $10,000 to cover any additional bills and the transmission, which is approximately $5,300.
Okay. I thought 10 seemed pretty high for any transmission. Okay. So the additional amount is for just other repairs in general, is at the end?
I think there's things that haven't made it to my desk yet.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 10, to see if the town will vote to make changes to grade, take land by purchase or eminent domain, and to settle damages from land taken in conjunction with the FY 27 highway program under chapter 90 in the town road improvement.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Article 11, to see if the town will vote to grant to the Board of Selectmen the authority to obtain land parcels or easements.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is, just a couple of questions. Is there any particular land in mind, or is this just in general for the future?
I think this is just a housekeeping motion, just so we have the ability. We vote at every town meeting. That same
This is
language.
something that is, okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, motion second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 12, to see if the town will vote to appropriate or reserve from the Community Preservation Act in the amounts recommended by the CPC.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 13, to see if the town will vote to, we don't recommend CPC articles. That's my recollection, right?
You don't have to.
I don't think we've done it in the past, actually. Is that how you remember it, Peter?
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. Article 14, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $250,000 from free cash to the stabilization fund. Any motions?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 15, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $66,000 to be expended by the police chief for the purchase of a new fully equipped admin vehicle.
I know, did you say 250,000 instead of 25 to stabilization? Because I heard that.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
That's exciting.
Thank you, I thought it was just me.
Make a motion to amend Article 14 to read $25,000, not $250,000.
Is there a second?
Yes, thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. So for the police,
15, I'm not making a motion.
okay, for the police chief admin vehicle, I was really hoping that we would be able to support this tonight. We did table his request in 2024 when we were going to see what the outcome of the debt exclusion would be. Here we are in 2026. He has a low-lying car. It's really close to the ground, and I don't want to misquote him, but my understanding is we had a lot of snow events this year, and I believe he had to be picked up because that car is low to the ground and it doesn't do well in the snow. Police chief is our primary first responder, and he's the one that is, the buck stops with him. So
I'd rather go with Article 16.
making sure that we are able to fully fund him and our public safety, I think is important. And also, when I look at that car, if he is responding to an incident, it doesn't look to me like I would even be able to identify it as a police chief. I don't know if it's marked, I think it's just an unmarked black car. So, doesn't really have any, yeah.
Front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive has it doesn't have command presence, I think our chief, I hope our community, we can find a way to support. He has been working on this for a couple of years, to support him, get him a car that has command presence, so he can put all of his equipment in. It's a little more roomy than that little Ford Taurus, that he's able to respond in snow events or emergencies. So I don't know.
What was it that we were saying earlier had gotten a new car? Was it the fire chief?
I don't even know about a new vehicle. I don't know.
And I think that's,
Fire chief, okay.
if I'm speaking to, well, I would like to give my opinion here. The police department right now has a lot of vehicles. We would like some thinking outside of the box. It got into the point and everybody got very used to, we were getting the police department a new vehicle every year, every 2 years. Quite honestly, I don't think we can keep up with that right now. So I would like a little ingenuity on their side, thinking on what they can do with all the vehicles they have at this point, rather than always going for the new vehicle.
Yeah.
We can't sustain that.
I have a question for Ralph and Serena. Is there time for the chief to come in to a future meeting before we sign the warrant? Because we're not signing the warrant tonight, right? To see if there's any out of the box ways for him to move this forward. In the past, when we were really short on money and the highway superintendent came in and we talked about doing the lease, he really needed these things. We said, well, we don't have the funds, but do the lease. Maybe there's things available on the police department's end that they could come up with between now and when we finalize the warrant. Is that a possibility? I do agree with what you said. It would be nice to have, we saw our library get creative and come up with grants, and we've found other departments that's trying to help any way they can, if the police department could as well. I'd like to give them the opportunity before we just close this out and don't recommend.
I'd rather see a patrol car, not a administrative car.
Is this would come out of free cash, is that correct?
We didn't say what it come out of. So Serena recommended those to come out of capital stabilization. That's an option, but it's not recommended.
Regular stabilization.
Regular stabilization.
Yeah, so the next selectmen's meeting is the 13th, where we were gonna have the selectmen sign the warrant because it must be posted the following day, the 14th.
I think we funded some patrol vehicles, and I agree that that needs to continue to be something that we're always looking at to fund. But I think our chief has that car because he's taking care of his department first. So I'd like us to take care of our chief as well.
I think a lease might be a good idea.
It's actually not a bad idea, because at least within a couple of years, you've got the option to, at least if you want to keep the vehicle, but if not, you can go ahead and get yourself a new one and release, or gives us better options.
4.5% is not a terrible interest rate.
Yeah, because I remember.
Highway department.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the area or the amount that leases are coming in at. We don't know we'll get that, but 4.5% doesn't sound too terrible.
I think too, speaking for myself, it would be nice to see a little bit more detail from him as far as, there are a lot of vehicles parked in his lot at any given time. It's how many officers do you have on duty per shift? And how many vehicles do you need for that per shift? And how many are left over sitting in the parking lot?
Right.
So I think a little bit more detail would help in order to justify him getting new vehicles versus him coming up every year. I know the cars take a beating, just like the highway equipment does. But to be able to see a little bit more detail from him to help justify these vehicles, I think would also be useful.
Right. what is your board's thoughts about if we had our team at town hall give our thoughts and comments to the chief and have him work on to take our feedback into consideration, having another meeting? The 14th, we have to vote on it at our next meeting.
Yes.
Would you guys be interested in having a joint meeting with us again to entertain the police department as well, so that if we do have any recommendations, they match on the printed warrant? I think that'd be unusual, so I'm curious what you guys think.
I know I can't make that.
14th.
The 13th.
The 13th.
13th,
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the.
May 13th.
I can make that. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, what's everybody's thoughts on that?
I would not, I would go along with that meeting. I know I cannot make that meeting.
Right, but are you open to that idea?
I'm available.
I am open to any thoughts,
Sure.
how we can, close this gap here.
Okay.
Because, right, his just request for a new vehicle is not telling us anything about repairs necessarily for the existing vehicles we have. We don't have mileage. I heard him say that the cruisers were personalized to each
Waiting
officer.
until next.
Oh, I'm
next
sorry,
meeting
in
now, when the-
this day and time, maybe we cannot go with that policy.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, I still got a lot of questions.
I do too.
Leases
I also would
somewhere.
like to know what their idle times are on each vehicle. How long are these cars sitting and idling for? Things like that.
I also think command presence is important.
Control, right? I mean, he's not gonna use it as much as he does.
Make sure that the vehicles for the others. So I think we need to hear that, and then we need to explore maybe a lease.
So if that's possible, it looks like that would be a good way to go forward.
Sure.
Okay,
He probably needs more like an SUV, something higher.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Definitely. Don't they have
We could wait till the
Just put
special.
two Tahoes.
We could,
Right.
Till the fall
but
meeting.
if it's okay with the team,
I don't think we have,
we will take those comments and see what we can do. If we
Who's
can, we
driving the
can't, but
cars then?
we can try to explore.
Who's driving cars?
It's just gonna be a real-time crunch for Karen to change it and get it to the constable, and I'll publish the following day.
Mhm.
Maybe this is something we also,
You can wait till the fall.
the fall, yeah.
Right.
And
Instead
then
of
that gives
rushing
them
it
time
through.
to prepare and research
Mhm.
and, hopefully come forward with,
Right, he's
some of
gotta-
the information.
He's gotta sell us on the idea.
Yeah,
So it got tabled last year too.
It did.
I'd be very interested in going over to the station myself and just having them show me what cars are there and what they're used for and how many are sitting at any given time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm not gonna, out of hand say no to this, but I'd like a lot of information. I think you guys have some great ideas.
Mhm.
I mean, he's got two Tahoes, who's driving those? I mean, those are bigger cars.
There's, I've seen, officers driving around town, so,
Yeah,
it's patrolmen, patrol people that are using it.
All right.
It just, I made the comment in a prior meeting, I was at the police station one day and I counted 11 cruisers in the lot. I'm like, well, is anybody out patrolling? And then
A lot
somebody
of those
told
don't
me.
work.
I'm
A
sorry.
lot of those don't work. They used to store them at the transfer station, but now they store them at the back of the police station.
They were in the lot right at the police station.
Yeah.
They
Those,
didn't look old.
those that are in a row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't look old. But again, we just bought 2 new Tahoes and, if the chief is riding around in a bad car, well, we need to get him a good car. But I drive a sedan that's got 194,000 miles on it.
Right.
So we all have to stay within our budgets.
All right, well, it sounds like the general consensus, we all need more information and the person with that information is not here. I'm sure he would be willing to meet with you or anyone else at the station
So
too.
we're gonna be at the station or on the 13th?
I prefer, just for public accessibility, that we meet here. And everyone has plenty of time to meet at the police station if they wanted to do their own field work, but
I think maybe if we could get a list of the vehicles, what do they have? Maybe town-wide, do we have a list of all of the vehicles that we have?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that'd
For
be-
insurance purposes, we have to list them all.
Right, that'd be great to just see and go over.
A great reference.
And the condition they're in.
Yep.
What it would take to get them up and going.
I have full faith that Ralph will
So I,
take all those
if I
comments.
could get some, I heard, I thought I knew the direction was 2 minutes ago, now I don't know what it is. Tell me again, so I know what you're asking.
Well, you heard the finance committee's concerns and the board of selectmen, so if you could summarize those, give them to the chief so he can work on getting as much information to us. I would ask ahead of the meeting, you know, assets.
Well, I just, so are you looking to make a have all that information to make a recommendation on the 13th?
Yes.
Or, okay, because I heard the 13th, then the fall, then we're visiting the police station, and then it kind of.
We may not have enough information to make a recommendation on the 13th.
Okay.
If the police chief is
So
able to
May
come up
13th.
with a creative funding source, work with your team at town hall to come up with something that would appease everyone in this room
And we're looking for the information on the fleet he's got,
and information on the fleet.
age of the vehicles. Are we looking at multiple repairs per vehicle?
How many
Yeah.
officers per shift and how many cars they're using per shift? Do you want me to send you a list? I can email it to you.
Whatever Tracy wants.
Thank you. I can email you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, Tracy.
And then so do we think we're gonna be able to make the cut by the 13th? Or do we tell them we're gathering all this information to try and put it up for the fall? That's the only question I have.
I think the
Yeah,
team
and-
needs to work on that. You guys
Okay.
aren't gonna know until you get some more information, right?
Right,
Right.
all right.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts, Ralph? Come on.
Yeah, I think we could get it, if the
'Cause we're
goal
only
is,
talking like
if we'll
2
make the goal to have the information, so you could make a decision by the 13th for the annual town meeting. And I'll tell the chief to come up, we'll have a hard date. So we'll get the information to you hopefully like the week before the 13th, so you could look at it.
That's perfect.
Right, and which is the 8th or something like that, so I'll give them a hard deadline, so I could get it to both board, because if I can't get the information, you know, by then, you know, you're not gonna have enough to digest it. and
Exactly.
I do it.
Is anybody opposed? No disrespect, Mr. Cabbage, but is anybody opposed on the finance committee if I myself go over there and just ask some questions, just to gather information?
I have no problem.
Okay, all right.
All right, very good. That was
Thank you.
very, very productive. Any articles on 15 or should we table till our next meeting?
Motion to table.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Article 16,
Motion to table.
is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 17. This is to raise and appropriate $295,854.45.
Make a motion to approve.
Or transfer from available funds.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Are we intending to go with one truck? Is that our
Yeah.
general idea?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 18.
No motion.
No motion, okay. Article 19, this is to raise and appropriate or transfer from this is to
At the easement?
raise and appropriate and or transfer from available funds a sum of $145,310.41 to be expended by the treasurer collector.
Make that motion.
And that's to be by free cash, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Excuse me.
To see, Article 20, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate and or transfer from available funds a sum of $50,000 to be expended by the Board of Selectmen to fund unemployment insurance, and this is from free cash.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 21, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate and or transfer from available funds, a sum of $20,000 to be expended by the Board of Selectmen for whatever parcels or easements are necessary, make changes in grade, take land by purchase or eminent domain, and to settle damages from land taken in conjunction with the Pleasant Street Bridge reconstruction, and this is by free cash.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion?
I do have some questions. I think Ralph, you mentioned what it was, but I'm not sure I understood what was being done or paid for. And you said 20,000, was it?
Right, yeah, 20,000, there's about 8 properties, half of the properties are owned by the town. For the reconstruction of the bridge, we have to get easements, we have to go over people's property to reconfigure wires, utilities. We're doing a road taking, so we have to do some road widening, so guardrails, so all that.
This is not the Muddy Cove Lane Bridge, is this the?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah. Pleasant Street Bridge, Muddy Cove, Pleasant Street.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did we vote on this?
Not yet.
Okay, did we?
Oh, no, we haven't voted, but I made the motion.
All right, and there's a second?
A second. Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 22.
It's a bylaw change for planning, so I think you have to make a recommendation on that if you don't want to.
Okay. Nice.
58.
Thank you.
58.
Article 23 is another zoning
Zoning.
amendment.
The next page.
So Article 24 is to see if the town will vote to accept as a town roadway known as Muddy Cove Lane as described below.
What page you on, I'm sorry.
58.
Thank you.
Although it looks like there's multiple page 58s.
This is the first 58.
Okay, 58-1.
Actually, no, 58 too.
Right, I got a little lost. Why did we jump from?
It jumps from 28 to 58.
So we're on Article 24.
Yes.
We didn't recommend anything that was done by an elected board.
So 22 is not.
Right, that board can recommend it. Other board. Yes. Yep. No problem. Any discussion on Muddy Cove Lane?
I haven't made the motion.
That's right.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Yeah, but I guess I'll have discussion. Yeah, I do second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What exactly is being done here? I apologize, I haven't had it.
Chair, if I may.
Yes, that'd be great.
The Muddy Cove Lane is a private road. The town will be, is taking it in conjunction with the Pleasant Street Bridge project. We're doing some upgrades. You can't do upgrades on a private road, so that's part of it by the town.
I know we've already voted on that last one. The $20,000 is essentially to perhaps purchase or somehow gain the easements, that's correct?
That's along, the easements are along Pleasant Street and Muddy Cove. But that's on private property.
I mean, not to sound naive, but have we just asked them if we can use it to get it fixed?
There's a process we have to go through. It's an eminent domain taking, so. One person said you could just have it.
I mean, the reason I ask is I've spoken to a lot of people down there about that bridge. And they're all in favor of seeing something done, and they all seem very pro. To see us save costs, if people will cooperate and things
Through the chair, again, there's a process we have to follow, then we have an appraised value. In case someone doesn't want to cooperate, we have to be prepared to pay.
But you'll be involved in those discussions before because I believe we vote before we do any land takings, right, before the selectmen?
What? I'm sorry.
For easement or land takings, the board of selectmen votes on that, because I know we were involved in the appraisals, and I'm sure it'll come before us again for
Right.
easements or land taking. So you'd be involved in that. Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 25 is a zoning bylaw. We're not gonna have a vote on that. Article 27 is fees for the Conservation Commission. I don't,
Still there?
No, we haven't gotten clarity on that one, so.
Well, I reached out to Lisa and she said that they were withdrawing it. Did she not communicate that with you?
No.
I don't know,
great.
because I
Article-
asked for clarity on that whole situation.
Mhm.
She just said they weren't proceeding, I don't know.
Okay. So we can get that for our next meeting. Article 28, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the General Court of the Commonwealth to allow the town of Dayton to impose impact development fees, provided that the General Court may reasonably vary the form and substance of the requested legislation with the scope of the general public objectives of this petition. Where did this special act come from?
That was the ongoing discussion we've had between the Board of Selectmen and the Planning Board
Right.
and Mr. Perry, and we said at a selectmen's meeting that we would include this on our ATM.
Does it have the special act? Is it in here?
No, I don't have the special act yet.
Oh, we will though.
We will, the Bob came after town.
Okay, so we'll have a special act for our next meeting.
The 13th, yeah.
That's right.
That's a warrant.
Right, okay. I think we should personally, till we've seen the special act, we should probably wait on that. Okay, you agree, Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, so no motions on the floor for that. Article 29, to see if the town will vote to accept MGL Chapter 59, Section 20, Section 5, Clause 22L, which authorizes an annual increase in the amount of the exemption granted.
I think that's 22I.
22I, that sounds good. What is this?
This is. Let's take a quick look.
I can answer that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the assessors.
Okay, we'd love to hear from you.
It's just a annual cost of living increase for the amount that we give in exemptions for seniors.
Okay.
It makes it automatic instead of having to bring it to town meeting every single year.
Okay. So that came from the Board of Assessors?
Yes, came from the assessors.
So I don't think we need a motion on that. It came from another board. Article 30, to see if the town will vote to amend the general bylaws by amending section X. We're not gonna do that, right?
What?
We're not gonna amend the. We discussed it.
So are we? If not, we'll just take it straight. Okay.
I don't think so. Peter?
No.
No. Glenn? I'll entertain a motion to strike that article.
I'll make that motion to strike it.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Article 31, to see if the town will vote to move opioid stabilization funds to a special revenue fund.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Who's, where did this recommendation come from? Okay. Very good.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I thought we were not in the special fund, you wanna move these funds to, I thought these could only be used for drug prevention, drug education.
It still is under the same regulations. We ran into a problem with the opioid money being tied up in a stabilization fund. We would have to go to town meeting to expense it with a 2/3 vote. So we actually lost an opportunity to collaborate with another town because we had it in a stabilization fund. And we lost that opportunity. So I am asking to move into a special revenue fund, but it will still have all of the same expenditure
Restrictions
controls
for-
and reporting. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. So we had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye, motion carries. 32 is a citizen's petition. So that's it. That's it for our recommendations. Okay. Anything else from the finance committee? No?
Don't believe so.
Thank you guys for sitting through that. Appreciate it.
Make a motion.
I have a motion to.
Make a motion to adjourn finance committee meeting.
Second?
Roll call, Susan Lorenz, aye.
Okay, aye.
Doug White, aye.
Tracy Carroll, second aye.
Tom Russo, aye.
Thank you,
Have a good
gentlemen.
night.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm. Changed.
Okay, next we have public input. Is there anyone here for public input? All right, Bill, you're up. Earlier, we took it out of order.
Bill Moore, 1835 Smith Street. Spent all this time waiting here to say a few short things. First of all, I want to welcome Glenn Gavage as our new selectman. Congratulations. I have a question that came up from that. Look, that was trial by fire, man. It's like the longest, most boring meeting, right? If I may ask a question, of the guys or town administrator about what was just discussed on the snow budget, on the snow amount that was budgeted for snow, I believe. It's like 340 or something you said?
360.
360.
With the
And does that include, so I tried to find it while I was sitting there and it seems to have disappeared, but I believe that Senator Dooner had earmarked like $140,000 for Dayton for snow removal. Does that number account for that, or we don't know, or what?
Do you know, Ralph?
One, I didn't get that from Senator Dooner's office. Number two, usually those don't come to us this fiscal year, so it would most likely come in the following.
Next year?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. So I just wanted to, point out the fact that we had an election, and I hope you guys can pay attention closely to the outcomes of the debt exclusion laws. I know I've been up here before and I lobbied hard against not doing it at all. But you see, it was a resounding no. It was 2-1. It wasn't even close. And the people of this town just simply are stretched to the max. We can't afford huge tax jumps. And I'd like you all to consider that in all of your actions going forward. Thank you very much for your time. Au revoir.
Is there anyone on Zoom? Nope. Alrighty. Selectmen's reports.
No, I just want to welcome Glenn and good luck. You got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Nicole did a great job.
See you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I have the same thing. Welcome to, I think we're gonna work well as a board and always put our citizens first. So I look forward to continuing that mission with you now.
Congratulations on being chairman as well.
Oh, congratulations being clerk. First day and you're a clerk, so that's pretty darn good. So you run the meeting in my absence.
Okay.
The clerk, so, yep. So I won't be here at the next meeting, so, no, I won't be. I'm just kidding. All right. Town administrators report.
I don't think he was aware of that when he said, "Oh, I'll be clerk."
I don't recall saying that.
No, town administrator report, only just a very quick update and just a reminder for people. The Dayton Elementary School building project is moving forward. At the next meeting, at the April 27th meeting, the committee will begin to narrow the choices. I encourage anybody who wants to know what's going on, what are the choices, what are the costs, please attend that meeting. There are like 15 different iterations of the building, starting from repairs to add addition renovation to new building. So those choices are going to be narrowed down.
And when is that?
April 27th at the DR High School Middle Library. 27th.
All right, we've already discussed old business, so moving on to new business, review, discuss, act, signature authorization form.
I have the signature authorization form, which we have to get your signatures, entitles as selectmen. Additionally, the signature authorization form would appoint me as the primary signature when we cannot get a majority of the board of selectmen to come in and sign. We usually use that for payroll and for warrants. So if you accept that, then we have you sign. Did I miss anything?
Is there an alternate?
The alternate is the chair, which is mine. So
So it doesn't necessarily have to be the chair, it's whoever is more readily available to come sign.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Just please make sure the three of you sign that before leaving. Thanks.
Okay, next we have review, discuss, act, department manager, sewer department, job description and posting.
So as you know, we'll be in correspondence and announcements. Diane will be leaving, be retiring as the department manager for the sewer department. We had updated her job description, so we're looking to do seeking the approval of that job description, which we work together with Diane, the union, myself, and the HR director to come up, HR coordinator to come up with it. And then the posting is to do, we're gonna have the internal posting.
What's the timeline for the internal posting?
Internal posting, it's a short window. It's if it gets approved today, it gets posted tomorrow. And until the third, it stays open until the
April 30th.
So with the inspectional services, I know we're gonna find some savings with positions that we've worked with the union. For the sewer department, is there any reduction in positions that will happen as a result of this?
So what happened is we, based on the budget, we have at least the reduction in two positions. So that would give an opportunity for those individuals, because they're still a member of the union, to apply for that position.
And who is going to be interviewing for these positions?
We haven't set the interview team up, but it would be, in the initial thought is myself, HR coordinator, the current sewer manager, and one of the selectmen like to come.
Okay, and does that person come back to the Board of Selectmen for the final appointment? My only feedback is for future postings, could we have what that looks like, what, like in the memo, like what the interview process looks like, and then what the appointment process looks like, so like we know.
So you want that in the memo? Okay, so that wouldn't be in the post.
Not in the post.
Okay.
No, just
Okay,
so we're clear and the public's clear on what that looks like.
okay.
Okay. That's all my comments, Peter.
Okay, make that motion for public manager and school department, we'll post the job description.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, thank you. Department manager inspectional services, job description and posting. Any discussion on that?
Is this building inspectors? Is that what they're doing?
It's,
Inspectional services?
right, yep, building inspector, but it does support
It
other
supports health department, building, and veterans.
So this is a new role. Before Board of Health had their own office manager, and the building department and veterans shared an office manager. So now this person is a higher grade, but they're going to support all three offices.
So the very fact of this role being formed has already been voted on, discussed, and so on.
Yes, yep. So now we'll have one less position in that at Old Town Hall, but it's a higher paid, more responsibility.
I guess my only question is it something that can be combined with someone who's already a building inspector, just sort of a promotion, or maybe save costs in there by?
It's the building inspector's secretary.
Sorry.
It's gonna be the building inspector's secretary.
Oh, okay.
So they're basically the office manager.
Oh, okay, okay.
Office manager for building inspector, health, and veterans.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at department manager, that's not, is that the wrong one?
If I may, through the chair, that's the title, is the department manager.
Because I think of that as.
Right, yeah, no, it's not department head.
Okay,
Right, so
okay.
it's slightly different nomenclature. The board made efforts, as we went through this budget process to see where we could combine jobs. Actually, we're combining two positions into one position.
Okay.
That's what this is doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did we have a motion on this?
No, not yet. I make a motion to post the job description for department manager and internal inspectional services.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next we have review, discuss act legislature audit letter, accept and sign. This is something I want to thank Ralph for. I did ask for this. As you know, our state auditor has been working very hard through the courts and with our House of Representatives to try to move this ballot question forward. And I noticed that there are other towns throughout the Commonwealth who have been sharing with our elected members on Beacon Hill that this was something that the people wanted. So I thought it'd be nice if Dayton and our role as selectmen representing the voters of Dayton could share that reminder with Beacon Hill.
That's outstanding. thank you for doing that.
Awesome, thank you. That's great to hear.
Okay, make that motion.
Is there a second?
There is a second,
Any discussion?
just a quick one. I'm not sure if it's a typo, but the name Mariano is different in the address above and in the greeting.
Thank you.
Mariano and Marino. I don't know if anybody knows.
I didn't, but I appreciate that. So that needs to be fixed.
Okay.
All right, motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And Ralph, you gotta hand deliver this, right?
Yeah, give me mileage up.
That's worth every penny. As long as I get a picture, you know, it's worth every penny,
Pitchforks and torches.
right? All righty, so next we have appointment letter of Paul Reed as a part-time dispatcher. So Paul Reed recently retired from the communications department last year after 36 years of service to the town of Dayton. Paul, having knowledge that we are lacking part-time help, has inquired about returning back to help staff shifts. So Paul has been in contact with Bristol County Retirement Board and is allowed to work up to a certain yearly amount. Paul will be required to maintain all Massachusetts mandated training. If Paul does not maintain his annual certification and training, he will not be certified and therefore not in compliance to work.
I make that motion to appoint Paul Reed.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Paul, for coming back.
I'll get enough.
That's great. All right, next we have a retirement letter from Nancy Pinto, office manager. I'd like to read it if that's okay. So to Honorable Board of Selectmen, please accept this letter as notice of my retirement from my position as office manager. To the Building and Veterans Department, my last day of employment will be May 1st, 2026. This decision was not an easy one, but after careful consideration, I decided that it was the right time for me to step in to the next chapter of my life. It has been my pleasure to work with all of you for the past 23.5 years, and I will especially miss the town residents whom I met over the years in my employment with the town of Dayton. I would like to help with the transition of my duties to ensure continuity after my departure. I will make certain that all of my assigned tasks are completed or transitioned on my last day of work. Thank you for the opportunity to work for the town of Dayton. Respectfully, Nancy Pinto. Thank you, Nancy.
She did a great job. She started with the zoning board of appeals at one time, in veterans office, I think, too. She did a lot.
She did a great job. Absolutely. She had a long career with the town. All right, next we have a letter from Diane Curtis from the sewer department. Dear board members, please accept this letter as formal notification that I will be retiring from my position as department manager of the Dayton Sewer Department. My last day of employment will be June 29th, 2026. My official retirement date will be June 30th, 2026. I wish to thank the town of Dayton for the opportunity to serve the people of Dayton for the last 26 years. My experiences working for the town and with other department employees has been positive and productive. I am committed to ensuring a smooth transition of my responsibilities. I will make myself available to assist with training both during my last few months as well as after my departure. Again, thank you for your trust in me. Sincerely, Diane Curtis. Equally as sad, two great employees.
Do we want to turn these down and tell them to get back to work?
Sounds like a motion to me. All right, and then last correspondence is appointment of one new full-time firefighter. This is from our fire chief. It is great honor I am writing to inform you, effective April 19th, 2026, I am appointing Joshua Desmond as a new full-time firefighter EMT to the fire department. Joshua has successfully completed all of his pre-employment requirements. Joshua is currently working towards his certification as a Massachusetts paramedic and is already firefighter 1 and 2 pro board certified with the Mass Firefighting Academy. Josh is being hired from our call firefighter EMT ranks. He started his time with this department in our junior firefighter program, where he remains active as an assistant advisor. Please join my department and I in congratulating Mr. Desmond of his appointment. We look forward to working with him. Any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact. Respectfully, Chris McGuy, Chief of Fire Department. Okay, congratulations. Entertain a motion on the minutes.
Approval of the Board of Selectmen's regular meeting minutes for March 25th, 2026. Board of Selectmen's regular meeting minutes of April 8th, 2026. Board of Selectmen's regular meeting minutes, budget meeting minutes of March 3rd, 2026. Board of Selectmen's budget meeting minutes for March 5th, 2026. And Board of Selectmen's budget meetings for March 10th, 2026.
All right.
If I apologize to the chair, there's only one set of minutes available. It's the March 25th.
April 8th. April 8th.
I'll say it.
Okay, then I amend that. Just the approval of the regular meeting minutes of April 8th.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Want me to abstain from this for having not been there?
Not, you can vote on meeting minutes for meetings that you didn't attend.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'll make the second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This is the last public input. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Good night.
But you have to stay the same.
Congrats. Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. One down.